Welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot, your LAFC gateway drug and the only LAFC podcast launching a serious, ongoing investigation into the truth behind Mr. Fries Man. I'm Darren Miller. Welcome to our preview of LAFC's MLS match versus FC Dallas on Saturday, July 1st at 5:30 p.m. at Toyota Stadium in Dallas. It's the free match on Apple TV Plus this week, and we'll be live streaming our post-game call-in show on our YouTube channel 10 minutes after the final whistle at youtube.com/@HappyFootSadFoot. Subscribe now and get notified when we go live. Also, if you enjoy the show and you want to help us keep making it, become a friend of the Foot by clicking the Patreon link in the show notes, or pick up some Half-O Sappho merch by going to HappyFootSadFootPod.com.
Or Venmo them. Just Venmo Darren. You could just...
By now, I'm sure you've noticed the absence of my co-host, Travis Helwig. He is currently on vacation, which makes this a special edition episode of the show. That's right, it's the first ever Happy Foot, Sad Foot Casuals Takeover. Of course, I'm normally the casual on the show, so naturally, I've decided to bring on a guest co-host who's even more of a casual fan, a super casual super sub, if you will. It's friend of the Foot, the man who coined the term Bouanga Blast. After a Bouanga goal he did not see in a match he did not watch, comedian, writer, actor, man who is aware that soccer exists, Yoni Lotan. Yoni, welcome back to the show.
Boing, boing, baby. Slurp, slurp. Get your juice boxes out. It's your boy Yoni in the house. Let's see some soccer. Hi,
this was
Darren.
a mistake.
No.
Later in the show.
You can't say that. You can't say
People
that.
just listening, I just want to paint the picture real quick that Yoni is wearing an LAFC shirt and bunny ears.
That's right. That's right. The LAFC shirt I bought it at the first game I went to because I was so enamored by the energy. And the bunny ears I bought on Amazon.com. Shout out Jeff Bezos.
We're not doing that. Later in the show, Yoni and I are going to forget Bet It and Forget It and instead put a whole bunch of shots in the dark onto a bingo card that you can play along with us on Saturday during the match. And I'll try my best to relay this week's storylines to Yoni, despite not really knowing them myself. But first, let's get to know Yoni a little more. It's time for casual mandated banter. Yoni, why don't you tell the audience about your experience with soccer? How casual are you exactly when it comes to soccer, MLS, specifically LAFC? Where do you stand right now?
Darren, I'm so happy you asked me. And Happy Foot, Sad Foot fans out there, I want you to know that I am with you. Who am I? I'm a casual's casual, you know? So
What does that mean?
I'm a casual's casual. I'm a big sport head. I love sports. And when I was younger, I grew up in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, and I was a huge Metro Stars fan. The New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. I love all teams in which it's New York and New Jersey, New York dash New Jersey. And, they had such a cool jersey. Their mascot was like a taxi cab, like a cool taxi cab. And then when they became the Red Bulls, I was like, this is gross. This is great. I hated that. So I stopped kind of watching. And then cut to a few years later, I'm visiting my good friends in Los Angeles. And Travis Helwig, the one and only, he was like, you got to go to an LAFC game. And I go to an LAFC game, and I am so charmed, so entranced by this like fan base. If anything, I'm a fan of the fan base. I love the community around LAFC, and I root for the team and the people supporting the team. So I love soccer as a sport. I think it's a beautiful sport. I actually don't know much about it, like the specifics of it.
Great.
I know, put it in the mixer, and I love a good header. And I know enough from a sports fan. I can watch soccer and I know what it is, but I don't know the minute terminology and I honestly, sorry, Happy Foot Sad Foot, but I don't know the full roster of the team.
You don't need to know anything.
I know the stars, I know the Bouanga Blast, and I know the.
And we made up Bouanga Blast.
I did, and we got to give something for Carlos too. I know he's having an off year, but I feel like Carlos. Maybe we call him Captain Clutch.
Captain Clutch, I like it. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the viewers and the listeners are the ones who are going to decide if that sticks or not. I don't know. There's nothing I can do.
I am so excited to learn more, and I want to learn more because I love everything that you guys are doing. I love jumping up and down.
That's definitely going to help if you love that. Well, I definitely appreciate that. If you're interested in learning more, I may or may not be able to help you with that. Travis definitely would on a normal episode.
Sure.
But we'll see if I can.
Can I ask you a question, Darren?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about like soccer?
Can you have a favorite thing about soccer?
Like when you think about soccer, what is like your
Scoring a
favorite?
goal?
Like what?
I think the goals are fun.
No, but like like I'm a big basketball fan. Like my favorite thing about basketball is like I love how there's a rhythm to basketball, which I feel like soccer
Mhm.
has a rhythm too. And I love
Yep.
watching that rhythm. Like that's like passing is my favorite thing in basketball. I love watching passing and I
Mhm.
love doing passing when I play basketball. Like what is
I
your
love doing
favorite?
passing also.
Isn't it so fun? Servicing? We're people pleasers, Darren.
Yes. I guess if I'm answering honestly, I would agree. I love the rhythm of it. I love the musicality of it. One of my other favorite sports is baseball, and one of the big reasons why I like both of these sports is because there's so much going on underneath the surface that's really interesting.
Mhm.
That isn't just like the thing that happens. But yeah, I love the continuous play of it. I love the supporter culture. There's no like supporter section at an NBA game.
No, there's
Um,
not. Yeah, they're all
uh,
suits. They're all Jeff Bezos.
and I think there's like a way more drama and stakes to the fact that it can be a 0-0 game. It can be a low scoring game. It can be a high scoring game. It's a big deal when someone scores. It's similar to like hockey in that respect, but like
This release.
basketball is like, let's go back and forth and we'll score a bunch. I mean, I love basketball too, but
Yeah.
if I'm thinking about what's unique about soccer in my mind,
And I will say another big part of the reason why I slowly understanding soccer obviously is playing FIFA on
we should
and
mention that we used to live together in New York
sh-
after college,
shout out to
and
New
we
York.
played a lot of FIFA together in our apartment. I became addicted to playing FIFA with you and had
Yes.
to quit video games altogether because of it.
Yeah.
And I haven't played video games since then. That was maybe like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah,
My
that's a big part of it.
my PlayStation name is Barfman123 if you want to
Find
hit me
him,
if you want to
find
hit
him.
me up on FIFA. Barfman.
Can you beat the Barf Man? We don't know. Find out. Find him. Hit him up.
Let me know in the comments.
All right. Well, I think that's enough banter. It's time to start the show. Are you ready to hear the storylines?
Hell fucking yeah.
Okay. Well, normally each week I have my friend Travis, the human LAFC crazy wall, guide me, a casual fan and normal adult with a life beyond LAFC, through the important storylines that bring me up to speed and make every match more enjoyable. But this week, Travis is breaking down his crazy wall for randos on the beach while fighting off margarita brain freeze, and I'm left to do my own research like a goddamn QAnon follower. But I'll do my best to indoctrinate Yoni in a segment that may or may not be the sharpest of the season, but will absolutely be the most casual storylines.
Was that Stewie Griffin?
That
Sorry.
was Stewie Griffin, like right before he falls asleep. All right. Well, it's the blind leading the blind on storylines this week, Yoni, but you better believe I can Google with the best of them, and I'll be damned if I haven't watched every minute of this wonderful, torturous season so far. If you're just joining us on this journey, LAFC has endured a completely insane schedule of MLS and extracurricular cup matches so far, which we knew would happen, but then they went undefeated in the first 2 months of MLS matches, and I guess we just kind of forgot. LAFC was 8-1-4 in March and April through all competitions, and then roster rotation to get guys proper rest, guys getting called up on international duty, and injuries all piled up, and they went 6-7-2 in May and June through all competitions, including some real haymakers to the face. A loss to our rivals, the Galaxy, to knock us out of the US Open Cup, a loss to Leon in the CONCACAF Champions League finals,
It's not great.
and the Houston Dynamo shutting us out twice in 4 days. We thought we'd turn things around with 2 wins in a row after that, only to give a frankly shitty Vancouver team without their best players their first road win of the year and their first win at BMO Stadium ever last week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not pretty. But that brings us to our first storyline this week.
Yes.
Fucking now what?
Mm-hmm.
This week marks our first full week of rest since May, and we're about to play another 5 games within 15 days. I don't know what spaghetti we have left to throw, and I don't know any space on the wall we haven't tried throwing at already. Everyone is exhausted. And the game after this is the big 4th of July El Tráfico match versus the Galaxy at the Rose Bowl, postponed from the first match of the season. Will we withhold some of the spaghetti we don't have so that we can throw it at the Rose Bowl instead? I don't know, and this metaphor is as hobbled as the team.
Yeah, now I'm just hungry.
Yeah, I don't know. That went somewhere and then it kind of fell.
You just like saying the word spaghetti.
Some silver linings have emerged, like Mati Bogusz scoring and creating goals.
What's that?
Our big stars, Denny Bouanga and Carlos Vela, both scoring last match, and Timothy Tillman finally returning from injury. But as we've seen silver linings come and go, now's not really the time to bet on any trends continuing. And that includes this Dallas team, who, on paper, under normal circumstances, seem like they would be easy to beat. But that brings us to our second storyline. Dallas was supposed to be good, but now they've been kind of mid so far. But that could be a trick. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I watch FC Dallas matches. I don't give a shit about them. Dallas has won only one of their last 7, but the win was against St. Louis, who was currently tied with us at the top of the Western Conference. And if you heard our preview of the first time we played Dallas earlier this season, you'd know that that win is actually more in line with expectations for this team at the beginning of the season. They're not a bad team. Their best player is U.S. men's national team striker Jesus Ferreira. He finished 4th in the Golden Boot race last year and is currently tied for 3rd this year with 10 goals, just 1 behind Bouanga and 3 behind Hani Mukhtar's leading 13. Are you with me so far, Yoni?
I'm still. His name is Mati Bogusz.
Yes.
He's Polish.
Yes.
We got it. He's so he's you're saying he's midfield?
He's kind of a offensive-minded midfielder, yes.
So when he scores a goal, you gotta say Bogusz, there it is.
I mean, you could. You could.
That's another one for the fans out there. Bogusz, there it is. Bogusz. All
Wow.
right, but I'm hanging on, baby. Keep
Okay.
going.
Great. They have some familiar faces in former LAFC defenders Marcos Farfan and Sebastian Ibeaga, who both have goals this season. But other than that, honestly, I have no idea how good they've been. But when I see their names on their backs, in my head, I'm going to be like, yes, I know who that is. That's a player I'm aware of. So that's something. And then their other designated player, which from doing this podcast, I've learned that means one of up to 3 slots teams have to spend beyond the salary cap, is Alan Velasco, who's from Argentina, who won the World Cup and is where Messi is from, which all means he's automatically good, of course. Yeah. And I did watch a highlight video of him scoring a pretty sick goal on a set piece for Sporting KC last season that seems to support this foolproof theory.
Do you think Alan Velasco is the reason why Messi came to the MLS? Do you think he texted him?
He was just a Messi spy of some kind this whole time. He was just over here kind of feeling it out. And then at some point he made the call and he was like, you know what, this is going to be good. You should do it.
He's like, hey man, honestly, America is actually very fun.
Dude, have you heard of this thing called the American Dream? It is out here, man.
It'd be crazy if Messi's never been to America. He's just like,
I can't wait to go to America. I've heard it's amazing. I think he owns a house in Miami.
I'm sure he owns 12.
I might go to an MLS team. Why don't I buy a house in every MLS city and just see what it's like over the next few years?
Cincinnati.
He's been among us this whole time. Where's Waldo? We haven't been able to tell. He's been doing very deep research.
Well, he's so short. It's hard to see.
It's just
got him.
Dude, Yoni just got Messi.
I just got him.
Just got Messi so hard.
Dude, if he listens to the podcast, he'd be so embarrassed.
Oh, Messi definitely listens to the podcast.
No way. Actually?
Yeah, he's a friend of the foot.
He's a friend of the foot. He's going to buy a Bouanga Blast t-shirt.
Yeah, Messi's like, I love Bouanga. Yeah. Well, the truth is, Velasco's got 2 goals this season, but no one else besides Ferreira has more than that on the team. And Ferreira's got 10, as I just mentioned. So it does seem like if we can shut Ferreira down, we'll be okay. Which brings us to our third storyline. LAFC start a full defense challenge. Mm-hmm. Our defense is not in a great place right now. Our team dad, Giorgio Chiellini, is the best defensive mind there is, but he's 38 and he's on limited minutes. I'm 36 and podcasting is hard. Aaron Long busted his head open a few games back and then left on international duty and left the U.S. men's national team match with another injury unrelated. So we don't know if he's available, at least as of this recording. Last match, the heart of our midfield, Ilie Sanchez played center back to fill in the gap, but it didn't go so well. And Murillo is injured. Mamadou Fall, who was on loan at Villarreal FC, did return from loan to visit the stadium last match. I don't know if he's coming back. He was a very young and promising defender who's great. Also had a bit of a temper, so that's fun. I don't know. I haven't mentioned Diego Palacios because he's actually been very good lately, which kind of dilutes the premise here. But some combination of these guys needs to stop Jesus Ferreira, or maybe get in his head, or maybe we can just outscore him. Which brings me to the final storyline this week. Are our stars finally aligning? Last match,
Hmm.
last match we lost 3-2, but it was the first time both Danny Bouanga and Carlos Vela scored in the same match this season. Yoni, should we come up with a name for when they do that?
When Carlos and Denny both get a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the stars are out tonight.
Moon's out, stars out.
Moon's out,
Sun's out, guns
stars
out.
out.
Moon's out, stars out.
And the stars are out. Moon is out. Okay, I mean, I have something to say about what you're
Please.
saying. So, defending a championship is very hard,
Yeah.
as we all know. There's a lot of expectations. It's like you're like working double energy because you're trying to keep the momentum from last season. And I'll say it. I think having some loses in the season are good because it kind of like brings you down to reality, and it reminds you that you aren't this golden god. Like there are teams that could beat you.
That's
So
true. I think that's helpful. You don't want to end up coasting into a postseason and
thinking
just
like you're
thinking
the
you're untouchable, and then you get sort of sideswiped.
1,000%.
Do you have another thing?
I'm literally looking up Bogusz jerseys to buy. Goosh, there it is. Sorry, I'm literally looking this
Yeah.
up right now. He's 21 years old. He's from Ruda Sloska, Poland. Dude, he was loaned to Ibiza's football club.
That's right. Yes, he was playing for Ibiza when we got him.
That's awesome.
Which is fun because it's like people trying to have a normal life in a place where no one else is there to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine like going to Walgreens in Ibiza. Like
I'm really hungover. I need to get some Advil.
yeah, that's the
Welcome to
only
Walgreens.
You come to here, you have good time, baby. I just want to apply for a loan at the bank here at Ibiza.
Yeah, no problem. Right this way. Steve Aoki's playing in the other room.
I mean, he seems great. Can I ask you another question, Darren?
Mm-hmm.
How do you, as a person who is a sports fan, feel about how the MLS specifically makes their team names targeting, like, the way other countries do their clubs, like Real Salt Lake?
I think there's a line somewhere here where, like, I don't mind an FC. It gets a little old that it's like they just announced the new expansion team is going to be San Diego. And it was like, what's the name going to be? And the guy at a press conference was like, we're not sure. We're going to figure out the right name. It's either going to be FC San Diego or San Diego FC. And I was like, okay. I mean, we're LAFC, so I can't really complain. Although I think it also counterbalances the Galaxy just going like way on the other end of the spectrum and just having a terrible name by any measure. But I would kind of draw the line at the Real thing where it's like you don't really, it's not really rooted in anything that has anything to do with your team or your city.
Just like Mormons.
So yeah, I think what else is there? There's SC Soccer Club, which is sort of a weird thing. And then FC,
well, Inter Miami.
Like, I think if you have like an actual partnership of some kind with another club overseas that is like that has that kind of name, you could nod to the partnership. Otherwise, like, I'm not sure what you're doing. But at the same time, like, I'm not gonna say I prefer Galaxy or like Red Bulls. Like,
sure. And maybe it's because I was so burnt and scorned by the Metro Stars becoming the Red Bulls.
I mean, Metro Stars sucks too.
No, it doesn't. Let's go Metro Stars.
The New York / New Jersey metro area, really great players.
I don't know. I felt like, and I totally understand why they're doing it. I mean, and if anything, I think it's clearly working. Like I think it's because the MLS is on the rise, and I feel like they're leaning into the fans will make the nickname. The fans will make the whatever the culture is. Let me see if I can. Okay, there's all the original MLS teams. Was the New York, New Jersey. Yeah, this is fun. the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, the Tampa Bay Mutiny, the New England Revolution,
Oh my God, I
DC,
forgot about the Tampa Bay Mutiny.
got you, DC United, LA Galaxy, San Jose Clash,
San Jose Clash, yeah.
San Jose Clash, Kansas City Wizards.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, yeah.
And that might be it. Columbus Crew and the Dallas Burn, which I
Oh,
think
Dallas Burn. That's
which
funny.
brings us which I think is the same team, right? It's the same like organization.
I think they renamed to FC Dallas. Yeah.
Cuz the Kansas City Wiz logo was like awesome. Very cool
Hmm.
logo. And like I know they have a huge fan base, like should have stuck with the Wiz, but I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm so curious if your fans, if the listeners,
Sporting KC, is that better than the Wiz? I
I'm
think
so
Portland Timbers is good. I think that's a solid name.
Portland Timbers. I love. I love the Portland Timbers logo and the name and the cult. Like I love that. I wish there was more of that. And the Sounders, the Seattle Sounders,
They
but
do both. They're technically Sounders FC.
cool. Do that.
DC United is a little weird. I think it's more of a nod to them being in DC than it is
That's
like because I think other clubs having United is actually uniting two areas,
yes.
which
I
DC is not doing.
and like United States, like there were
Yeah, yeah,
they lucked out in that one.
yeah.
um,
It should be the DMV United, DC,
yeah,
Maryland, Virginia.
yeah. Where do they play? Do they play in Virginia?
I think they play in DC.
I'm curious if the listeners agree with this. Like, do they want?
Listeners, do you agree?
Let me know.
What are your thoughts on names?
My PlayStation name is Barfman123. Let me know.
Actually, yeah, don't tell us in the Patreon chat. Don't tell us on
Yeah,
Twitter.
go to
Find
my
Yoni
PlayStation.
in a PlayStation game and tell him, are our stars finally aligning? Denny Bouanga went nuts at the beginning of the season, looking like an obvious MVP pick out of the gate, then slowed down a little bit lately after intense travel and international duty, and from everyone else shitting the bed and him having to put the whole team on his back all the time. So lately it's felt like he's been gripping the wheel pretty tight. Carlos Vela, our captain, who we built this entire franchise around, is finally starting to show his age this season and started the season looking slow and uninspired compared to previous seasons, but his passing remained outstanding. And now he's starting to score goals again after like a long time. Don't make me look up exactly how long. I've looked up enough. The point is, when shit gets hard, these are the two guys we're supposed to be able to rely on to lead us through the muck. And last week might have been the first time it felt like they were both at their best at the same time. With Bogusz getting better and better every game, too. If I was completely wrong before and trends do hold, our front line is suddenly looking great despite ongoing trouble finishing. Most of the trouble finishing has been Buke, Sifu, and Opoku, who are all severely allergic to goals. Like it's life threatening. They really shouldn't be shooting anywhere near the net, and they don't.
They should get tested.
They need to make sure that they stay away from the net.
They should.
And they do a really good job of that.
They should try eating gluten free.
Have you been to Dallas?
I've been to Dallas like on a layover, like a day.
So do you think they could win there? Or?
If they play in the airport, honestly, yeah, I think they can.
How's the airport compared to LAX?
Ooh, good question. LAX is better.
Okay, that's good.
But Amsterdam Airport, best airport I've ever been in.
Oh,
you heard it here first.
Wow,
you heard it here first on a LAFC specific podcast.
Yeah, we're not playing Amsterdam anytime soon. Anyway, that's our storylines for FC Dallas. It's our chance to start off a grueling stretch with a blank slate and redefine where we're at. Let's see if we can make it happen. When we come back, we're going to make a bingo board. And we're back.
Darren,
so
really,
Yoni,
really good trumpet skills, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Well, Yoni, I've been playing around with this idea of an LAFC bingo board that anyone can play during a match, right? And I've floated the idea to Travis a few times now, and I've noticed that every time I've brought it up, he's kind of subtly dodged the topic. I'm pretty sure he hates the idea. But when Travis is away, the boys will play bingo specifically. Earlier in storylines, I said something like, now's not the time to bet on anything. So we're going to bet on pretty much everything. And instead of bet it and forget it, we're going to put a whole bunch of maybes out there into the ether and see what sticks. in a segment I'm calling I Didn't Have That on My Bingo Card, but don't worry, I'm actually playing bingo, the one context in which it's not incredibly lame to say that, though admittedly, bingo is also kind of lame on its own, just in a much less offensive way. Yoni, I believe that's also the longest segment title
That's
we've had yet.
long. So where do
Yeah.
you put, is that on the bingo card itself?
If there was a bingo card specifically for things that would happen in an episode that I do without Travis, a super long segment title is probably like the free space. Well, are you ready to make this bingo board?
I would love that.
Great. Here's the deal. Here's how it's going to work. There's some basics here first, right? There's the Bouanga Blast,
Of course.
created by Yoni Lotan. Yoni gets residuals anytime someone says Bouanga Blast.
I do. But if I may, can we change the Bogusz goal to just call it a Bogusz? There it is.
A Bogusz, there it is. Okay, yes, we'll change that. That will be what's on the bingo board. Let's see if it sticks between now and then. It's up to the listeners to see. A Bogusz, there it is.
It will stick.
Okay. So all the players getting goals are spots. Then we've got the team. If LAFC gets a set piece goal, an LAFC brace, 2 goals, LAFC hat trick, LAFC haul. Are you familiar with the term haul, Yoni?
I'm not. Can you explain?
It's 4 goals.
Whoa, that's a haul.
It's a haul. And by LAFC, I don't mean like 2 goals for the team. I mean someone on the team gets a hat trick or a brace or whatever it is. Okay, so these are some.
And I'm
squares.
assuming a brace is 2.
Yes, I actually looked up because at one point I wondered where that came from, and it came from like hunting when people killed 2 of an animal, but that doesn't explain why it's called that. It just explains where it's from.
Also, I have a question. Sifu.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone ever said, "You like Sifu"? Well, Sifu.
No one said that yet. No.
All right.
Someone might have said it. Someone might have said it. I don't have tabs on all of. I don't have tabs on
everybody ever. I'm just saying, if I was the LAFC booth, I would 100%. If he were to score a goal, I'd be like, "Wow, you like Sifu?"
So we have assists from not as many people as goals, but people getting assists are squares on the card. McCarthy saving a PK or getting more than 3 saves. And mind you, these are all like randomly. You're going to get a card that's like a random assortment of these things. So it's not going to be all of them. Then we have some more interesting things that occur during the game. Nathan Ordaz, Crisostomo, or Duenas getting minutes. Tillman Sauce and Bouanga Sauce is when either of them put some sauce on the footwork.
Fun.
That's been known to happen from time to time. Buke Puke. Are you familiar with that? How often do you listen to the podcast?
Talk to me about Buke Puke.
Buke Puke is Stipe Buke is really, really good at creating opportunities and then blowing it on the last touch.
Buke Puke.
Buke is when he just throws a goal away that probably wouldn't have been an opportunity in the first place, but he played well enough to create that opportunity and then just can't score the goal. Sifu shot into the stands, another not so rare occurrence. A sighting on the broadcast of an injured LAFC player in plain clothes. Hashtag Wefs be whack. Another happy footstep.
I know that reference. That reference I'm familiar with.
All right. And Dolo subs at 60 minutes. It is common for Steve Cherundolo to bring in his subs exactly at the 60-minute mark. So those are some more interesting things, but we can do better than this, right? I think that we should add some more fun stuff, and it's not bet it and forget it. We don't want completely outlandish things that are never going to happen and just ruin anyone's bingo card if it's on there. But what's more fun stuff that we can throw on here? Yoni, do you have anything?
I do. So on the broadcast, Texas is kind of going through a heat wave, a really intense heat wave.
Okay.
So I think that there will most likely be a shot of a fan waving themselves because it's so hot.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then the announcer will say like something about how hot it is and like allude to the players playing in such heat. Like something on the broadcast that's showing like how hot the fans are.
Okay. Fan too hot.
Fan too hot. Fan too hot.
What else you got?
I'm not so this is going to be, I'm assuming, on Apple TV, correct?
Yes.
How funny are they?
Not. I would say, depending on who it is. There's some people who are. Max Bretos, who's the voice of LAFC, calls games for MLS Season Pass, which means he only sometimes gets the LAFC games. So that's a real treat when he gets assigned to a home match, essentially. And he's great. He's fantastic. Taylor Twelman is also sometimes calling matches, but is probably more often at the desk. There's some standouts who can do some bits.
So I was gonna say this, just like a funny joke is made.
Okay, genuinely funny joke.
Genuinely funny joke. It's a hard one. It's like a genuinely funny joke.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
I can think of some more.
Let's think about it right now.
Well, it's in Dallas. Mentioning of barbecue.
Yeah, BBQ talk.
BBQ talk. How do you like your ribs, Max? Do you have anything about flops?
Oh no, that's a great one. Yeah. Okay. What are we doing when we're doing flops?
Yeah. How about like a flop that lasts longer than?
We could say yellow card for a flop.
Yellow card for a flop. It was all yellow. Are you a big Coldplay fan? Hey, let us know in the chat if you are a Coldplay fan.
What's your favorite Coldplay album? Sound off in the chat. The Paint one? Didn't they at some point do something with paint?
Yeah, they're really into like colors and stuff.
They love colors, that band.
It was all colors. Let's think. I think taking your shirt off.
Okay, shirt off.
Shirt off. Stars are out. Oh, we can do that.
What?
Denny and Carlos get a
Denny Carlos special.
A DC special.
Well, we're talking about Bouanga and Vela both scoring.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll say stars out.
Stars out. Fan too hot. All right. Generally funny joke. BBQ talk. Carded flop. Shirt off. Stars are out.
All right. Those are getting added to the board along with everything else.
These are the lyrics to the national anthem, right?
Okay, so this will be playable. We'll include a link in the show notes if you want to play this week. We don't really have a big prize to play for. Maybe we will in the future. For now, I just want it to be fun. But as a very cool small prize, I'll send a Happy Foot, Sad Foot sticker sheet to the winner. Or a discount of equal value in our merch store. If you're thinking, fuck stickers, I want a Bouanga Blast pint glass or some shit, you can check out everything we've got at happyfootsadfootpod.com. There are 20 spots to play, so we're going to make it available to Friends of the Foot first. And once everyone there who wants to play gets a chance, we'll open it up to everyone.
And Darren, question. So do they print out their cards? Like how?
No, this is all online. There will be a link, and you'll just put your name in, and you'll be in the game, and you'll get like a digital bingo card.
And how will they see? Along. How will they see? Like, how will you verify?
I'll be behind the scenes, kind of calling, like if something happens. And if you think I'm screwing up, or you need to alert me to something happening, and maybe I missed it, you can tweet
alert the authorities.
Sappho. Yeah. We can all make this happen.
Tweet at Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon is going to be in charge of the bingo game. But this is a little experiment. We don't know.
I'm pumped.
I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
And I hope. Most importantly, Travis, I think, is on the fence, and he's not here, so now's the time to do it.
Yeah. I hope Bouanga and Vela both score goals, take their shirts off, and the camera cuts to fans. So like they cut to fans like, man, it's a hot one. And then they go, just as hot as like the ribs here in Dallas, which is in a sense a funny joke. So that's like 1, 2.
that we'll call the Yoni special.
Ooh,
if you get,
I love that.
Kind of like a royal flush, right?
Exactly.
If you get a bunch at once. Yoni, anything that you've been itching to get off your chest that you haven't had a chance to say before we go?
Oh, well, I want to spread some love. I want to thank you, Darren, and I want to thank you, Travis, for bringing me.
Travis has nothing to do with this. No,
into this world, but truly,
okay, in general, sure.
Yeah, not like birth, but in the soccer world.
Oh, right.
And I think in this chaotic world we live in, one of the things that will always be there for us is community. Community is the future, community is the past. And I think you have a wonderful community here with the LAFC fans. And I just, as a person who is a casual, like kind of in the community, but kind of like looking in, I just want to say it's a beautiful thing to witness. And I thank both of you for including me.
Well, thank you for saying that. You're welcome here anytime,
God
bunny
bless.
ears or not.
Boing,
Before we
boing.
go, tell people where they can follow you, where they can watch you on a screen or on a stage, and also your current phone and address and social security number.
My name is Yoni Lotan. You can find me at Yoni Lotan on all socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. But Los Angeles, I have a show at the UCB LA Theater on July 21st at 10 o'clock p.m. It's called New York, the Ride, the show. It is a fake virtual reality show, but it's also a comedy show. I cannot guarantee you enough how much fun it is.
I can vouch for this show. I've been to the show, and it
There
is incredibly fun. You should go to the show. We'll put a ticket link in the show notes.
And
Check it out.
If you come to me and you say, "Hey, I'm from Happy Foot Sad Foot," I will Venmo you $1. That simple.
All right. Come for the $1. Stay for the comedy.
Pay the ticket.
Get $1 back.
Get $1 back, and then enjoy the comedy.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. That is our show. Just a reminder, we'll be streaming our post-game call-in show 10 minutes after the final whistle on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@HappyFootSadFoot. There's a link in the show notes. Talk to us in the chat if you want to call in to talk. We'll post a link to join us live on the air. Our theme music is done by the insane team of James Valentine, Nate Walcott, and Louis Palmer, along with YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and maybe Facebook. If you made it this far in the episode, chances are you're enjoying the show. If that's true, if you want to show your support, please consider becoming a patron for $5 a month at patreon.com/HappyFootSadFoot, or pick up some Half of Sappho inspired merch by going to happyfootsadfootpod.com. I believe that's the 30th time I've plugged that on the show today. Any support really goes a long way to keeping this show going and keeping the community growing. Thank you again, Yoni, for joining us. As always, thank you all for listening and being a part of this. We will see you at the postgame show. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Tell everybody you love them, Yoni.
I love you, everybody. I love you.
You don't have to. I'm not going to force that.
No, it's genuine.
Okay, I love you. Bye.